John 13, and we're going to lift two verses, 36, 37, and 38. Three verses. And stand on your feet when you have it, please. John 13. John chapter 13, verse 36. Simon Peter said unto him, y'all got it? Amen.
Amen.
All these phones and y'all can't get it that fast. Come on, y'all. Put your phone on. John 13, the 13th chapter, 36th verse reads, Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, whither thou goest? Jesus answered him and said, Whither I go, thou canst not follow me, but thou shalt follow me afterwards. Peter said unto him, Lord, why cannot I follow thee? I will lay down my life for thy sake. And Jesus answered and said, Wilt thou lay down my life for my sake? Verily, verily, I say unto thee, the cock shall not crow till thou hast denied me thrice. The word of the Lord is blessed. Y'all take your seats. Amen. 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 Good morning, Greater Bethesda.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. It is I was studying and the Lord told me to tell y'all to stop cussing. Why y'all looking at what you thought? We done already sang. Let's stop, right? God said stop cussing. Too many cussing saints. Matthew 12 and 36 says, But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words shalt thou be condemned. Stop cussing. Y'all laughing at me. Y'all supposed to be looking serious. See, because y'all realize God's not talking about necessarily the words that you use. When in the Bible the word cuss, they don't have the word cussing in the Bible. That's not even the black folk made up that. Cussing. We took the word cursing and turned it roundabout in poor Virginia. It became cussing. As it moved further south, the R got left off in Virginia. By the time it got to North Carolina, it was just cussing. And the G got lost the further you go. Cussing. Praise God. But the word cursing, or to curse in Hebrew is lagadeth, which means swearing. Swearing. Now most of us, we done got to the point, Sister Walter, when we say swearing, we think using bad words. But the word swearing means to swear, to speak of future events with unchangeable or irrefutable certainty. To speak, like you know what's going on. To say for sure enough, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do that. To act like it's your decision, I'm coming back here tomorrow. Because you think, Deja, that it's your choice whether you come back tomorrow. Now see, they taught us in Sunday school and in vacation Bible when we were little ones. They used to tell us, Tina, that we could not say I'm coming back. We had to say, if it's the Lord's will, then I will see y'all tomorrow. Lord willing, that's the as you move south, they sped it short enough. Lord willing, we'll be back. Right? These kinds of things. And I never really thought too much about it until you talk to somebody on Saturday and here they went on to be with the Lord on Sunday morning. Then you had one of those experiences. Mine was my good friend Gerard Sowell. I had just talked to him that morning, 4th of July. And I just spoke to him that morning, and we got to where we were going to where we were supposed to meet him later on that evening and found out he'd been in a car accident and the Lord had called him home. And so I realized that it's not the foolish plans of mice and men. Huh? And so God says, I need you to stop cussing. Need you to stop telling me what you gonna do. My God, my God. I need you to stop telling the world what you gonna do. I'm not saying don't plan. I'm not saying don't have, but I need you to stop making these great professions as if you control the outcome. Because we poke our chest out and we get right beside ourselves sometimes, right mannish about the whole thing. And where you going? Because I had a conversation, I probably get in trouble, but I'm going to say it. We had a conversation in the place where I dwell. We were talking to some young African Americans, and we were talking about tone. We weren't talking about vocabulary, we were talking about the tone. Wasn't that you said something wrong, it was the way that you had said it. I have been disciplined for the tone. On many occasions, and so God is saying, I need all y'all to watch your tone. I hear you, and I see you in church, but you better watch your tone. Because I had a problem with that in my youth. I did. I had a problem with that. Is that agreeing? Okay. But, and so Mama would be like, did I hear a tone? Was that what?
That's right.
So God is saying, I hear what you're saying, but I also hear your tone. Some of you are saying, yes, Lord, but the tone in which you're using it. When it's time to praise me, you come into my house and you wave your hands, but I see your attitude.
My God.
I need y'all to, because I don't know, before they made all these laws, you could get in a lot of trouble for the wrong tone. Sucking your teeth was a tone. Cutting your eyes, they still cut their eyes. Cutting your eyes was a tone. It set a tone, an atmosphere. And so it's not just the words that you're saying. So when God said stop cussing, what he's really talking about is stop saying things with a tone like you're in charge. You ain't running nothing. It says, Proverbs 27:1 says, boast not of thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. I told y'all, we used to say if the Lord is willing. Right? Because see, if you don't say if the Lord's willing, what you're doing is saying, I'm making the decision. And so you have taken that which is God's decision and made it your decision. Just that quick. And to go from something that's supposed to be holy and religious and to make it secular is the definition of the word profane. So you have now used profanity. When you start using your words to take God's place, you're cussing. You're using profanity. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, so it's not the number of letters in the word that makes it cussing. Don't use no 4-letter words. You could be cussing with 3 letters, 7 letters, whatever. Don't just think it's the words, amen. And so when you try to speak with an authority that only belongs to God. So I know by now y'all like, you're not talking about me. I would never. I thought you was talking about what I said when he cut me off. I already repented, Pastor. How did you know? When nobody in the car with me. You not talking about me, Pastor. I would never take God's job. But we use profanity in the context in which we're talking about it. We profane all the time. We use it when we write. We use it when we dance. We use it when we're being nice and endearing to the ones we love. We use profane statements all the time. The famed poet Paul Laurence Dunbar wrote a poem. He said, the first stanza of which says, I had not known before forever was so long a word. The slow stroke of the clock of time I had never truly heard. Right. You understand that the word forever, for us to use the word forever is almost profane. And we use it all the time. I'm going to love you forever. The divorce court is full of people who was going to love each other forever. The jails are full of people, you my man forever. So you have to understand, our forever is based on a lot of things. See? And so today the Lord told me to talk about the broken forever. The broken forever. And it goes to, I was watching television. I'm not going to get deep, Auntie. I was watching TV. Watch this program me and Mama like called Queen Sugar. Y'all know?
Yes.
How come only ladies are smiling? Yeah, I know why. Lucy in the blood. Anyway, I was watching the most recent episode there with my wife and the Lord. This is the first time the bell went off when I was sitting with somebody else. And there was a scene where Ralph Angel and his baby mama, Darla, were talking to their son whose name is Blue. And they were explaining, it was a real emotional scene, and they were telling Blue that they were not going to get married. All this time they had told Blue, we gonna be together forever. And we gonna be a family. Well, mom and daddy gonna get married. We gonna get us a house together, and we're going to be together forever. But life has a way of, coming in, and it became apparent that that's not what was going to happen. And Blue was having problems in school. People were saying slick stuff, and he got in trouble, whatever. And so he finally had to come clean to Blue and say, Blue, we're not gonna get married. We still are friends. We decided to be friends. And Blue was hurt. The boy was hurt. He was crying, and I was about to cry because my heart was hurting to see the little boy. Acting was excellent. And Ralph Angel looked in the boy's face as his father, and he says, I'm so sorry that I broke your forever. I said, my God. Some of it, because God wants to talk this morning to some people I'm looking at who have broken forever. That somebody told you that it was going to be a certain way, and you put all your trust and all your hope in that thing, and then it broke. My God. I was going to love, he was going to love me. So I gave him everything, and I gave up everything. And I changed myself so that I could fit in with his life, and I could do it, right? And then all of a sudden, he don't want me no more. So what I thought was forever got broken. We were supposed to be a happy family, and we were supposed to live here in this nice thing, the place, and all of a sudden Daddy lost his job and they kicked us out, and my forever got broken. And so the boy said, he looked at his son, and his heart was just breaking. I can only imagine. Imagine what he's trying to tell him. He says, I'm so sorry that I broke your forever. And so here we are. God is saying, if you look back at the text in John 13, Peter is talking to Jesus. And he has followed Jesus all the way up to the Last Supper. Right? And Jesus, he's going to reign with them. All these great things. And all of a sudden, Jesus says, I got to go. And so then Peter says, well, take me with you. Come on, let's go. And he says, you can't go with me. But wait. You told me I was going to be with you forever. And now you're telling me that I can't go with you? Jesus, you just broke my forever. And so he's sitting there, and you can imagine following God, and God makes a turn you weren't expecting. Yes. Yes. What do you do when the Lord changes your forever? When you thought, you know what, I'm going to be a member of this church forever. I'm going to be whatever position I'm doing, I'm going to do that forever. And then lo and behold, God changes something up underneath, shifts something in the foundation, and you're not where you thought you were anymore. How do you handle it when your forever gets broken? See, because our forever is based on so many things. See, Strong emotions create strong memories. Right? How you felt when something happened. And so when we think about our forevers, we base them a lot of times on strong memories, not accurate memories, just strong memories. Have you ever really remembered something wrong? Y'all look at me crazy. Okay, just me then. Have you ever spent time with somebody who knew you a long time ago? And then they get to talking about an event that you know for sure. Remember that time we was running from the dog, that big old German Shepherd? No, it was a Chihuahua. Yeah, but no German Shepherd. That big, remember? And I had to jump and he bit me? No, he bit your cousin. You mean he ain't like me? And then they get to give you the fact. No, because Miss Johnson had the German Shepherd on the thing. And you realize that you have gone for years remembering somebody else's forever. My God. So strong emotions bring out strong memories. And then there's the idea that most of our forever is developed between the ages of 10 and 30. Most of our permanent ideals to which we aspire are developed between the ages of 10 and 30. Now everybody who's 31 will tell you, I didn't know nothing about forever when I was putting my forever together. Praise God. Not to say y'all young 20-something ain't grown, y'all are grown. But at the time when my forever is being developed, I don't even know what forever is. Have you ever heard young people how sure they are?
Oh, yeah.
Don't that make you just chuckle sometimes?
Oh, yeah.
Woo! Ask a little boy, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be the first president, astronaut, karate champion. Yes, right? That's how God looks at us. I'm going to be the perfect wife, and I'm going to be the perfect this and the perfect that. Yes, baby. Then forever comes in. Now, some of us, our forever, it gets banged up because of what we call reunion angst, right? We are so afraid to address the things that have hurt us in the past that we no longer, praise God for the lights. We are so concerned, if you will, about the past that it affects our forever. That our whole idea is to avoid the hurt of the past. It's not how many people go someplace and end up someplace because they're running from another place rather than they're headed to that place. The history of our country as brown people is much more designed by what we were running from than where we're running to. We was trying to get from slavery. We didn't care what the city life held. I wasn't really trying to come to Milwaukee. I'd never heard of no Chicago, but I knew it was north of Mississippi. Right? That's why when you asked them where they was going, they just said north. Whatever's up there. And so it is what they call reunion angst. We're trying to get away from hurt. And so we establish our forever based on trying to get away from what hurt us. That's why you can't trust it. Then there's another one called social comparison, where we base our forever on what William is doing. William got a new grill, so I'm gonna get me a new grill, and I'm gonna have a new grill forever. Right? And so these are the kinds of ideas that we put together when we are making up our forever. And then when God puts His divine will on us, we are crying because our forever got broken. And so, like Peter, in this text, Peter is crying. Peter's heart is hurt because he had an idea of forever, and Jesus broke his forever. God's saying there's some people sitting here looking at me who in the spirit are crying because God broke your forever. You're glad you're here, and we're glad to have you here, but God says, are you ready for forever? Because you got to understand, some of us are pouting because our forever got broken. Some of us have a tone because our forever got broken. Couldn't you act? When they told you no and they pout the rest of the day. You can't go to Six Flags. They cleaning the dishes. Right? So some of us are living our lives and God's saying, I see you. I see you. Right? I want to know, you have to understand the difference between you and me. Proverbs 20 and 24 says, a man's goings are of the Lord. How can man understand them his own way? I ordain your steps. You don't even know where you're going. You're right, you're right. Come on, parents. You go somewhere and the little ones run out ahead of you. You don't even know where you're going. Where are you running to? That's how we're living our lives. God is trying to take us someplace, and we, like little babies and little toddler ones, are running off ahead. You don't even know where you're going. So at some point, you will have to come back to God and say, God, exactly where am I going? You might be 50 years old when you get back. You might have all kinds of problems that you got while you was out there when you come back. But you will have to come back and say, God, where are we supposed to be going again? And so some of us, you run out again. If you was hard-headed like me, you run out again. Until you reach the following position, it's better for me to just follow.
Yes.
If I want to get there, I should probably slow down and follow him.
Yes, amen.
Because every time I try to run in my own forever, I end up getting lost.
Yes.
Over and over again. Okay. God has a very different perception of forever than we do. You see, the word forever, or its prefix ad, is only used in the Old Testament 56 times. Right? Because that's a manly construct. But a synonym, the word eternity, is used 137 times. See, we say forever, God says eternity. What? Wait, Pastor, it's the same thing, right? Forever, eternity. I love you forever, I love you for eternity. No, it's not the same thing. Because forever implies the same thing will be happening in the future that is happening now. Right? And you don't know what's going to happen in the future. So you can't say forever because you don't know. Right? And God, who sees all things, doesn't say forever. Right? Because the word eternity is about a space. Eternity is where things will happen. I said, see, we look at things in terms of chronos, in terms of time. But God looks at things in terms of cosmos, in terms of space. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. See, you're talking about what's going to happen, what it's going to look like, when. And God is saying there is no time in my where.
That's right.
So what you need to get to is my where. It's all about relationship to me. It's not how old you are, it's what your relationship to me. Where are you in eternity? See, that's why the person who gets saved, the moment they give their life to Christ, they are in eternity.
Yes.
Just like the person who been saved long as Deacon Abraham, 50 years. Right? You are in the same eternity. Now our people, we construct things in terms of time. So you must be more saved than me because you've been here longer than me.
My God.
You must do this because of this and because of that. But God said, I don't look at things like that. As long as you are in the cosmos, the chronos does not matter. And so some of you are here. You should be glad that you're in the cosmos, but you're complaining about the chrono.
My God.
So you're crying over your broken forever. Forever is never broken if you're with God. There is no forever, so it's never broken. As long as you're with me, it all pertains. And so you pretty much got the idea. How Jesus responds to a broken forever. Now, You got to understand, because our forevers are based on our yesterday, we know what they look like. We have an idea what they're going to look like. Right? My forever, I'm going to be married to Courtney Michelle forever. So I know what my wife is going to look like 10,000 years from now. She looked like she do that. Right? In our minds, in my limited little mind, I have put together what wife and marriage and forever look like. But God's saying, where are you going to be? Are you going to be in heaven with her? Because if you're not, then guess what? She's not your wife no more. You don't know where it's going to take place. And so when Peter comes, and back to the text, when Peter comes, and Jesus says, I have to go, Peter panics because that forever don't look like what he thought it was going to look like. His forever was disrupted, and God told me to tell y'all, when you can't see me, you get nervous. When you're unsure about the future and what the future is going to look like, that's when you get nervous. Yes. Now. And so you begin to question where God is in your forever. You begin to talk about where God is in your forever. And I was talking to my line brother, my same country line brother, the lawyer. And we were talking about something political. And I was arguing, because I can argue, okay? And I was getting, talking to him. And he said, Brian, the absence of evidence does not constitute the evidence of absence. Did y'all hear that? I'm going to say that again. The absence of evidence does not constitute the evidence of absence. It took me a second to bless me. Because there's no evidence of it, does not mean it is not there. The absence of evidence does not constitute evidence of absence. Because you don't have evidence that God has created and moved this thing around your life, does not mean that God is not there. Amen. Because you cannot see forever, does not mean that God is not in forever. And so when he begins to talk to old Peter whose forever is now broken. Peter who, for all this work, all this time, he gave up everything for you, Jesus. I had a thriving fishing business. And I gave up my business for you. What's the movie with the crazy girl? No, she don't watch no movies.
What? Oh,
oh yeah, crazy Taraji now, crazy. I gave up everything for you, so I'm gonna kill you. You know why? Because we don't know how to handle it when our forever gets broken.
Right.
So we make movies about when our forever gets broken. We have reality shows about our forever being broken. Why? Because basketball wives, none of them is wives. Y'all looking at me, well, I got cable. Y'all looking at me on the cable. Praise God. So we have become comfortable with the dysfunction of broken forevers. But God is saying, you got to bring your brokenness to me. Yes. Bring your broken past, bring your broken present, bring your broken forever. That's all right. And so now we get there. So what does Jesus say? My God. To old Peter, who I can imagine now, has tears in his eyes. See, we focus on the fact that Jesus called him out and said, before the cock crows twice, you're going to deny me. Oh, Jesus pulled your card. And he was right. He was right. But part of that, Jesus was saying to Peter, I know that your forever is broken. And I know that you're going to get desperate because your forever is now broken. See, if I would have told you, it's cool, you're going to be with me, then when the soldiers came in, you wouldn't have panicked. But I told you I was going to go. So now you don't know what you're going to do because there is no evidence. So, but I told you the absence of evidence does not constitute the evidence of absence, right? Amen. So look what the next time Jesus talks to him is actually the next chapter, John 14. So go there right quick. And most of us learned this a while back. Jesus sees the crying Peter. Jesus sees the brokenhearted, broken forever Peter. And this is who he's talking to. This is at the Last Supper now. They put Judas out and all that. And I know that Jesus in this text, he's not making no big speech. He's just talking to them. And he lets them talk back, have a small group discussion. Right? And so Jesus sees the tears falling from Peter's face. And he says, let not your heart be troubled. Believe ye in God, believe also in me. See, in my Father's house are many mansions. And if it were not so, I would have told you. I'm going to the cosmos. I'm going to a place. I'm going to eternity. To prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself. You notice that he doesn't say when, but he says that where I am, yes, you may be also. And whither I go, ye know, and the way ye know. Now, they're just talking, right? So Thomas interrupts. Thomas said unto him, Lord, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way? We don't know. There's no evidence. But the absence of evidence does not constitute the evidence of absence. So Jesus said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no man can cometh unto the Father but by me. If ye have known me, ye should have known my Father also. And from henceforth ye know him and have seen him. And Philip say unto him, another interruption. Philip say, Lord, show us the Father, and it sufficeth us. Now wait, this is how we do. This would make me think there are some African descended people in the disciples. Jesus just said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. I am. No, and then he said, show us the Father, and we'll be satisfied. Didn't I just say? See, I'm glad it's in there, because y'all would have thought I made this up. I just finished telling Thomas something, and now Philip got something else, because he's not listening to each other. And you certainly aren't listening to me. Right? He said, Philip says in verse 8, Lord, show us the Father, and it sufficeth us. Jesus said unto him, have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that hath seen me hath seen the Father. How sayest thou then, show us the Father? Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but of the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the work. It struck me right away that part of our unbelief, part of our hard time in faith in God comes from our difference in perspective. Right? We will not let go of the bones that we chew on. Even when another and a better solution is shown to us, we will not let go of our forever. A hard time. It's a hard thing to get somebody to see a better forever. God is offering each person in this room a better forever. I know you had one. I know you had one. I can recall when I got married, I proposed to my wife, and within minutes of the proposal, she had the wedding organized. Y'all are laughing. I was amazed. I should have known. Lily, I should have known. I proposed at 12 o'clock midnight, New Year's Eve. Right? By Christmas Eve, sorry. Christmas Eve. By the time Christmas Day, by 1 o'clock, the colors were picked out. The bridesmaids was according to height. these things. Why? Because then I realized something different about little girls. Little girls have been planning their wedding forever. I didn't think about no wedding until I met her. What do I know? But she had it in her head what the colors were going. She had it in her mind. And God says that's the way we do with all the things we hold dear. We have in our minds the way our children are going to behave.
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to have a boy and a girl, and the girl's going to be a beauty pageant, and the boy's going to be a quarterback, and then right? Forever. And so when they say, you know what, Dad, I don't like football. You have a decision. Are you going to hold on to your forever? So God comes to you and says, you know what? That whole you going with me thing, it's not going to happen. But God, I'm supposed to go with you everywhere, to mountaintops and to valley lows, to walk across oceans together, to heal the blind. Me and you, God. No, can't go with me. But what about? And so we get desperate and we get heartbroken and we get frustrated and we begin to question everything God ever told us.
Yes.
What you mean? You don't want me to go with you? You don't love me? Wait, you don't need me anymore? Am I not good enough for you? All of these, our insecurities jump back in because when we learn. So he says, verse 12, verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me the works that I do, he shall do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto the Father. So he had to give him an explanation. It's going to be better, right? I'm offering you a better forever. God's saying this morning, he's offering you a better forever. No, it did not work out with whatever relationship you were holding on to your forever. No, it did not. But he's offering you a better forever. I'm going to stop right there. Hallelujah. Who in this room is holding on to their forever? Give me some soft music there. My God. It is time to take God's way and put your way down.
Yes.
We want the blessings of God, but we want to hold on to our forevers. And God's trying to show us this morning that as it was with Peter, your forever is broken. So it's time to put it down. Stop having broken things in your life. Stop having broken things in your life. Stop having broken dreams in your life. Dream a new dream. It's okay to recraft a dream. I know you said you wanted to be the point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers. Then you stopped growing at 5'9". Dream a new dream. A new forever. Because as long as I'm with God, as long as I'm in his presence, in his cosmos, anything is possible.